Hello everyone, this is Mr. Ege, the STEM teacher, and I'm going to demonstrate a few interesting aspects of the architectural design and the programming language Revit, application program Revit. And in this particular video lesson, we're going to cover two interesting areas, okay? And this is basically a video lesson on two things. One, it's an architecture, and architecture is about this particular architecture is about art gallery, a single art gallery, and two, Revit Mass Solid. Revit Mass Solid feature or sub program within the program, okay, enables you to manipulate geometry in ways that is not possible otherwise or in other programs. And that's a plus from point of view architecture, architects and Revit people, because that's an advantage. But we have to focus on and study more, okay, if you want to be creative about your architectural designs. And one of the interesting things about architectural design, having studied architecture in college and being, being experienced in this field, in multiple fields, areas of architecture, um, architectural design starts on your mind. You have to visualize it. It's a creative process that you close your eyes and visualize the spaces, high quality spaces. But this is only the beginning of it. And after that, you need more. You're gonna need more inspiration very often. Then you're gonna do research for more inspiration. And architectural work, architectural inspiration comes from other architectural work, and you need to do research about. And you're not supposed to be copying anything, but on the other hand, you're going to be inspired by other architects' work. And at the end, you do brainstorming. Brainstorming involves research again, and then drawing freehand sketches of the spaces and concepts. After drawing 10, 5, 10, 11, 20 sketches, freehand sketches, you decide on one or two models and incorporate all the design on the computer. The computer work comes much after the sketch. And this is pretty much what I did. I studied on the piece of paper with the pencil first, and I came up with this interesting idea, okay, to demonstrate art gallery activity. Why is it art gallery? First of all, um, usually a client approaches you, and you discover a client is interested in art gallery, or owners or group of people representing the owners of the art galleries will come approach and talk with you about it. Usually, the interesting thing about art galleries is that enables you to be creative about it, and most of the buildings are not. And this is something that you need to draw freehand, do the research, and be aware of what's going on. Is it a multiple floor or single floor art gallery? And what is the art going to be? Statues, is it going to be paintings? Is it going to be mobiles? Is it going to be digital art? Whatever it is, you have to find out. You have to find out about the size of the land, available land, and you have to find out about the size of the area of the gallery that you're expected to design and build. So if you find out that you need to work with organic forms, you're allowed to be creative about it. And usually art galleries attention centers of the it is similar to civic centers of the cities. It is similar to libraries and the music concert halls. And art galleries are similar in the same category that allows the architect uh, to be more creative. So uh, I freehanded the project over here, And the requirement of this particular gallery is 60,000 square foot, approximately 60,000 square foot. More or less, you play with it and then you engage it and then you change that number uh, if it is less or more. And then uh, for that, you have to also uh, consider dimensions, okay, whether it's going to be one floor or two floors and so on. Also, you have to consider the number of the people it's going to be serving, okay. So, and after drawing a freehand drawing of this particular shape, these are the exterior walls, okay. Um, on my sketchbook, I have the freehand drawing of this exact this shape. Now I'm transferring this. When I am transferring it, I draw a rectangle first. The rectangle that you see over there is called construction rectangle. You always draw the construction lines first before you approach to a particular design solution. And that particular rectangle gives me approximately 10,560 square foot area. And I'm convinced that I can use 6,000 square foot of this if I fit my design inside this rectangle. And that's how I started. Okay. So I'm going to erase the rectangle and dimensions, but I'm keeping it here to show you that 119, 120 feet long and 88 feet wide rectangle. I drew this first. I suggest you do that too. How did I do that? I started the architect Revit. I selected the architecture template. So the first step, start the Revit. Second step, select the architectural template. If you skip that architectural template part of it, you will get none of these options here. And when you find out that you don't have those options, all the work you did is going to be disappointingly lost because you have to restart and get the architectural template first. So please remember, this is the important part. The second, units are important. We're going with the imperial unit. Okay, we're talking about feet and inches. This is most commonly used architectural dimension units used in architectural work, commonly done. Um, some architectural work in the United States is also using metric system, no question about that. NATO is using metric system, I'm pretty sure about that. And if anything relates to the international buildings, embassies and so on, I'm pretty sure they are using metric system and the inch system together. So just this is something to keep in mind. I did not start drawing the walls. Instead, I drew the lines. As I said before, we always try to draw the lines first, construction lines first, if, and then we later on we erase them. Okay. So all these construction lines that you see here, okay, has to be drawn before the walls created. Why? First of all, you're engaged to not wall drawing process. You're engaged to space organization process, and the space that you decided to create has multiple in inner spaces, and each one of those inner spaces has correlation with each other, and that relationship between spaces makes the architectural design. It is not the walls. We can create the walls in any way, and it can be all wrong. The whole point of it is generate those spaces. What kind of spaces are there going to be? What kind of art gallery is it going to be? What are the sizes of the art demonstrated, exhibited? What are the sizes of the statues or paintings and the panels? And what is the direction of the uh, circulation of the people? Where do you want to have entrance? Where do you want to have exit? Where are the bathrooms going to be? Where are the administration rooms are going to be? Okay, storage rooms. Where are they going to be? Fire exit, emergency exit. These are very, very important questions to answer and talk with your client. Okay, ahead of time or anytime during the first step and last step. So I decided to have the exit entrance on the left side, the double door entrance. Perhaps then next to the left side of the entrance is going to be the exit. I want them everybody leave the same place. So there's going to be a circulation within this building, within those lines. It's not a building yet. So we just created the lines. Pretty much the way we talk, there's going to be an emergency exit somewhere. Okay. And people are going to be, after walking around, probably they're going to be doing a little bit of shopping here. Maybe there's a shopping here. If anybody wants to go to the bathroom, probably they should find the bathroom near the exit and entrance. Maybe this area is going to be a little bit uh, separated bathrooms. Okay, so all those ideas, and remember again, you're dividing the space, available space, uh, into number of smaller spaces, and you're creating a circulation. Okay, a pattern of circulation for people to get in and get out of space. Uh, Initially, it may look like labyrinth, but it is not. Okay, so all these decisions, okay, are important, and you're going to make exits. Okay, and um, you'll be using certain decisions. Okay, available and for the certain areas. For example, where would you like to have the exit door? Okay. All right. So once you draw everything in straight line, probably next thing to do is create the walls. All right. Curved walls. Now, curved walls can be challenging, but now that you have line work created, generated, and you might as well start with the exterior wall. Okay. So here we go. Exterior walls are, just remember, are going to be load bearing walls. So that's going to require a special type of wall. So you go to architecture, pretty much select the walls and the wall architectural wall. And then interior wall is the basic wall. You have a load bearing wall somewhere else over here, exterior. Okay. Perhaps exterior brick on metal stud. Okay. Metal studs, I like it because they're more flexible than the CMU, concrete masonry unit. CMU is short for concrete masonry unit. And concrete masonry units are very strong for compression forces, but not so strong with the uh, earthquake forces or wind forces and so on. Wind forces probably they're good for, but not earthquake forces. On the other hand, metal stud walls are more being flexible. Uh, you can use those. Okay, so I'm suggesting, okay, now that you have chosen type of wall, exterior wall, and then we're going to be using 3-point arc, start and radius arc, start and midpoint. Okay, so you click on this one, and perhaps you should go like this. Okay, like that. Okay. And as you can see, I'm selecting a curve to go by, selecting the first point and the last point of the wall and the midpoint of the wall on the curve. And I suggest you do the same. Okay. That way, computer, the Revit enables you to select, create the walls the way you like to have. So for each wall, you have to click 3 times: start point, end point, midpoint. So I suggest you use your zoom in and zoom out as much as possible. And finally, the last point should be the first point of the wall, exterior wall. Okay. Now this is exterior wall. And as you remember from Revit, doors will come with their own door openings. So I'm not concerned about that. But how about interior walls? So for the interior walls, I'm going to change the door type, wall type, excuse me. Generic 4-inch brick wall. Okay. So for that, you can choose 2 points, perhaps. Single line. I'm going to choose the single line. Okay. 2-point line. Wall comment. Wall number. Point one. Point two. There's a critical area here, and the Revit did not like that area, and I'm going to correct that if I can. I can understand geometrically it's a challenging point. Now I need to change 3 point again. Now we are talking about smaller inside walls, interior walls, so they don't have to be load-bearing walls. So, and some of them may have to be load-bearing walls, and that will be determined by, again, engineer and your engineer and you. So every time you're starting a brand new wall, please pick up the first point, last point of the previous wall. First point, last point, and the midpoint. There is an inflection point between curves. You have to you have to realize that when the curve makes an S, you want to catch this inflection points for as the end of the wall, old previous wall and beginning point of the new wall. So this is the one of the challenges here in this project, that find out and be sensitive to inflection points. Okay, I think we're almost done. Um, Interior walls and exterior walls, they need to be, both of them, they need to be expressed, addressed, and I'm selecting most of the time 3-point wall option. Okay, and there are many other spaces. And as I mentioned before, I'm planning to do the bathrooms in this area, female and male and men bathrooms, men's rooms, and there is going to be some administration rooms. And in this particular area, I'm planning to have a store, a souvenir store, so the people can do some buy some gifts for themselves, souvenirs for themselves, and gifts for other loved ones. And of course, we have to have doors and for entrance and exit. And 3 feet wide doors are usually commonly used for exterior doors. All right, so there is not enough room. I'm going to just simply change the type of the wall here. And we need a straight wall. so that we can have two doors. Okay. And by the same token, we need an exit over here too. Two exit doors. Ex when you insert the walls, please remember to escape, hit escape. Okay. And in the public buildings, also there should be exits, okay, for the emergencies. And this is determined by the fire marshal, usually. The number of the exits according to the size of the. All right. And natural light is important factor, and we want to use certain doors, walls, okay, uh, to be transparent. So, for example, here, perhaps you want to consider storefront, and in the meantime, you're supposed to save your work, okay, OneDrive, every time you accomplish something, and select the wall and pressing the control button, perhaps shift button, and then change the type of the wall where it says storefront. Okay. Um, I like to see what it looks like, okay, before we do anything. So, and I'm going to save it, but I'm going to also go to view and select the camera and to see what it looks like. Okay, this is not too bad. Um, Perhaps we can live with this. Okay, but now it's time to do the roof.